Number 4. You are all quite perplexed about how Earth's atmosphere can exist next to the vacuum of space. This one is rather amusing because what's happening is that since you have no science education, your only context for the word vacuum is a vacuum cleaner. And again, because you have no science education, none of you understand how a vacuum cleaner works, which is a problem because you seem to think that outer space is a vacuum cleaner. Let's take a moment and clear this up. A vacuum is any region where there is no stuff. Here, there is stuff, like air. In space, there is no stuff, or at least very, very close to no stuff. Space is essentially empty. That's a vacuum. It is not a thing that sucks. Vacuums don't suck. Everyone say it with me together. Vacuums don't suck. Earth's atmosphere displays a gradient because gravity exists. There's a lot of atmosphere right near the ground, and then as you rise, because fewer and fewer molecules will have enough kinetic energy to go so high, it gets thinner and thinner and thinner until there's none left. Then you're in space. It's that simple.
You're correct for once, Professor Dunce. A vacuum doesn't suck, and I totally agree with you on that. The problem here is you show zero proof of how a positive pressure system like Earth's atmosphere can exist next to the negative pressure system called space without a solid barrier between the two. If there's no solid barrier, then the two opposing systems would equilibrate. You can't show anyone an experiment that proves the two systems can exist next to each other without a solid barrier. Then you claim the Earth's atmosphere displays a gradient because gravity, which is just a theory, exists. Yet no one has ever seen gravity or knows what gravity is.
Is
Okay, I
gravity.
have no idea. Okay, next question. No, here's the
Wow.
difference. We can describe gravity. We can
Okay.
say what it does to other things. We can we can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking like what it is, I don't know.
What you see circled in red is a question that says exactly what is gravity. This is NASA answering questions. Now here's the question, and I've highlighted two different sections in yellow that I'm going to read. And the question is exactly what is gravity? The answer, we do not know exactly. Some think that it's made up of particles called gravitons, which flit about at the speed of light just as photons do. In any true fundamental sense, we do not know what gravity is. So NASA says two different times in that answer they don't know what gravity is. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson said he doesn't know what gravity is. And the scientists also theorized that gravity is made up of graviton particles, but have never found them.
The earth isn't flat. And by the way, this is called gravity.
By the way, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the mic drop you did does not prove the theoretical. We've never seen it. We don't know what it is. We've never found the graviton particles gravity. What you did was prove real science. It's called density. The microphone you dropped was denser than the medium, which was the air surrounding it. This is why it fell to the ground when you let go of it. Stop deceiving people, dickhead. So, whether one believes gravity exists or doesn't, your claim, Professor Dunce, that gravity holds the atmosphere to the Earth, allowing it to exist next to a vacuum without a solid barrier, is complete bullshit because you can't scientifically prove it. You only offer us drawings. So keep right on spewing your pseudoscientific garbage that you're fed by script writers, Professor Dunce, because I find it very humorous.